And we begin with the big story of the day that happened right in our backyard, an attack outside the Pentagon. The Pentagon confirms an officer was killed on a bus platform near the Pentagon Metro station. The AP and CBS News report the officer was stabbed and the suspect was shot and killed. Several others were hurt. Good evening, I'm Leslie Foster, and I'll be honest, there's a lot to this story we still don't know, but we're going to walk you through what we do, and we've got brand new reporting on the moments that led up to the attack, plus how your commute could be impacted in the morning, and a look back at other attacks we've seen at the Pentagon Transit Center. Now, this team is committed to facts, and we're also putting this all into context for you, and we begin with Mike Valerio live in Arlington, where this all went down, and Mike, you are just getting some breaking information about the suspect.
And that's right, Leslie. CBS News has confirmed that the assailant here is 27-year-old Austin William Lanz of Georgia. Meantime, us at WSI-9, we're getting confirmation from the Marine Corps that Lanz tried to join the Corps back in 2012, but he was only with them for less than 1 month and then kicked out. This, Leslie, as there is still no motive for this attack. Outside the Pentagon, an officer fatally stabbed, a suspect shot to death at the scene. The heart of America's defense community shaken. Flags now flying at half-staff.
This morning at about 10:37 a.m., a Pentagon police officer was attacked on the Metro bus platform.
Law enforcement officials tell CBS News suspect Austin William Lanz of Georgia stabbed the officer. There was a struggle for the officer's gun, and other law enforcement opened fire.
We have one suspect down, one officer down. Pentagon Metro.
The Pentagon Force Protection Agency confirmed the victim is one of their own. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin wrote tonight, quote, "This fallen officer died in the line of duty helping protect the tens of thousands of people who work in and who visit the Pentagon on a daily basis." It's still unclear what caused the fight and the violent morning that ensued.
We have enough officers here to protect the medic.
But officials stressed there's no one else who took part in the attack, and the grounds of the Pentagon are safe.
The scene is secure, and most importantly, there's no continuing threat to our community. Okay, so Leslie, also worth pointing out here, 2 other people were injured in this attack. That's according to officials who are directly familiar with the matter. We don't know the extent of their injuries, though, and we also do not know at this late hour the name of this fallen officer. Leslie, the Secretary of Defense, said that his name is going to be kept under wraps until his next of kin are notified. Leslie.
It's a horrible thing to have to do. We'll hopefully connect more dots tomorrow. Mike, thank you. From the Pentagon, the focus shifted for a time to D.C. as fellow officers from across the region had gathered at George Washington University Hospital to pay their respects.
Detail, present arms.
Later, a procession escorted a van away from the hospital and along the National Mall. Our WUSA-9 team saw officers of all ranks from the Pentagon, the Secret Service, D.C. Police, Park Police, and other agencies, all there to honor a fallen brother in uniform. Today's attack was not the first at the Pentagon Transit Center. Police killed one gunman who injured 2 Pentagon police officers back in 2010. Police say John Bedell was the attacker. He reportedly had 2 handguns and more ammunition in his car parked at a nearby garage. Bedell approached a security checkpoint and started shooting when he was asked for his credentials. 2 officers were injured and soon released from the hospital, and Bedell was killed by police. Pentagon police did not say if there were any similarities between the 2010 attack and today's shooting. Well, the incident certainly caused big headaches for Metro commuters, and this will likely be the scenario again tomorrow. So what do you need to know before you head to work? Well, John Henry is tracking Metro for us.
Leslie, Tuesday was a rough day for a lot of people who travel in and around the Pentagon. Many people told us they were brought to the Pentagon City stop without warning.
We were on for a few minutes, and then they said that there was an incident.
All of a sudden, they bring us here, and they say this is the last stop.
Well, it's looking like Wednesday could be shaping up to be a hectic day, too. WMATA says riders should expect Pentagon Station to be closed throughout the day. Meanwhile, all Metrobus service to and from the Pentagon Transit Center will operate from Pentagon City. This will affect a lot of people. According to WMATA, at the end of June, more than 3,000 people traveled into and out of the Pentagon Rail Station daily. Now, once again, the majority of activity Wednesday morning will shift to Pentagon City. That's here to the south of the Pentagon, right on Hayes Street. All yellow and blue line trains will bypass the Pentagon and go to Pentagon City as well. Bus riders will also be able to connect with Arlington Transit, the Dash Bus, the Connector, Omni Ride, and Loudoun commuter buses in that area as well. Don't worry if you have questions navigating all this Wednesday. WMATA says it will have staff on hand at Pentagon City to assist riders as well. Now, this is something particularly important for those of you who work for the Department of Defense. They will have shuttles at Corridor 3 at the Pentagon and at Pentagon City starting at 6 a.m. They'll run every 15 minutes between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Leslie?
All right, good information to pass on, John. Thank you. I mentioned a few minutes ago, there is still so much we don't know. What's the motive for the attack and exactly what happened right before it, and who was the officer killed? Well, you can count on us to stay on top of this. For everything we know right now, download the free WUSA 9 app. You'll find an article on our homepage with all of the details. We'll post updates there, and you can expect the latest tomorrow morning on Get Up DC.